So, indicator eight, we are going to continue. This time, we are going to talk about discounts. We've already covered markups, but now we also talked about tips, etc. in indicator eight, but now we are going on into discounts. Okay. So, we all like a good discount. And basically, you know, what's happening on the day after Christmas sale or the day after Thanksgiving. All these sales that we have, you'll see a lot of people flock to the malls and the stores, etc., because we are getting major discounts or markdowns. So, see the difference? We've done mark up before. Now we're going to talk about mark down. Okay. So, look at our learning target. I can use proportional relationships to find the amount of discount or markdown. Okay, so the discount or markdown is the amount by which the regular price of an item is reduced. The sale price is the original price minus the discount. Okay, so the sale price is equal to the original price minus the discount. Okay, so sale price minus the discount is going to give us the percent of discount is a percent of decrease in this case. All right, so it's a decrease in the original price of an item. So whatever something costs, like let's say you love a certain pair of boots or clothes or some video games, and then you see that, hey, this is 25% markdown, or is it 50% markdown, 30% markdown. So that is always a major attraction, because you will have to pay as a customer. For yourself, it's better because you're going to have more money in your wallet because you are paying less because it's discounted. Okay, so that's why people always go for sales, because you can get more value for your money. Okay, so let's go ahead and we are going to solve some problems on discount. So let's say summer sports is having a sale. Okay, a volleyball has an original price of $59. Okay, original price of the volleyball is $59, and it's going to be on sale for 65% off the original price. So that is the discount or the sale. This is going to be 65% off the original price. Okay, off the original price. Okay, so I am going to show you two ways that we can do this problem. All right, actually, I'll show you three ways, so then you can pick and choose which one works best for you. Okay, so the first method, in the first method, what I'm going to do, I always prefer to use the percent formula, but I'm also going to show you the equivalent ratios format, so you can pick and choose as to what works best for you. Okay, now we know the percent formula is A is equal to PW, where A is the part, P is the percent, W is the whole. So we know that in this case, in the first method, A is equal to PW. I know that it's off the original, so the original is the W. And P, which is 65%, can be written as a decimal, which is 6500, which is the percent part. So we are trying to calculate that A, okay? So the part is equal to 6500 times my original price, which is 59. And then all I have to do is multiply. So I do 6500 times 59, right? And then I can look over here how many digits are behind the decimal. I have two digits, so I'm going to write 2. Over here there are 0. Total amount we have is 2 that we are going to use at the end for the product. Okay, so 9 times 5 is 40. 45. Okay, I take the 4 over. 9 times 6 is 54, plus the 4, and that is going to give me my 58. Okay, and then I have 9 times 0 is obviously over here 0. Okay, and plus the 5, and so that gives me this number 5. All right, and next is 0. 5 times 5 is 25, carry over 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus the 2, which is 32, carry over 3, and 5 times 0 is 0, and so therefore that I'm going to add the 3 over here. Okay, and then I add, and I have 5 here. Okay, and then 8 plus 5, 13, carry over 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 38, 35. Now $38.35. So this, here we go, 1 2 to the left. So it, the price has not dropped to this amount. This is the discount. This is the discount that you are getting off the original price. So you've got to take this number and you've got to subtract it from the original amount, which is $59, minus the discounted amount, which is $38.35. Okay, so obviously I can take, so this becomes a 10. This will become a 10, which again becomes a 9. This becomes an 8. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 3 is 6, decimal under decimal, this is 0. 5 minus 3 is 2. So here is how much that volleyball is going to cost now. So this final amount, the final cost, or the sale price of the volleyball is going to be $20.65. So that's a really good deal, as you can see, because it began at $59, which was the original price, but then what did you end up paying? Only $20.65. So that's why people love discounts. Okay, so this is one of the methods to do it. There is another method. So but first let me show you the proportion method also before I show you the second method. Okay, so let's say I am going to write a proportion to find the amount of discount. So again, we have been doing this constantly. So the discount I am going to write as D. I'm just showing you up here. D, if this is for the discount. Okay, that's what we're trying to calculate. All right. So there is my discount over there. I'm going to write it over the original price, which is how much? 59. And this is my original price here. Okay. This is equal to what percent? 65%. Right? 65%. So now if I multiply, what do you call it? If I multiply 100 times 59 cents, or 5900, sorry, okay, times 5900, then I'm going to get 59, right? So the same thing I can do here, times 5900, in order to get this discounted price. And here it is. So just the decimals have moved over here, and that would be 65 times 5900. Because there are two place values still behind, I'm going to end up with exactly the same answer. And then this I'm going to subtract from the original amount and then end up over here. So this is another way to do it. You can also do cross products. Okay. Basically, what is the cross product method? I would do 65 times 59 is equal to 100D. So I just want to show you, this is also an option. 100D, the cross products method, is equal to 65 times 59, and that will give me 100D, okay, is equal to 3,835, okay, when I multiply 65 and 59. And then we are going to use the division property of equality. Divide both sides by 100, because whatever I do on one side of the equation, I've got to do the same thing on the other. And so this is 1 D is equal to 38 and 3500. This is my discounted price. Again, same thing, which I would have to subtract from the original amount. So look, we still end up here. So no matter which way you do it, you will still get exactly the same answer. Okay. Now, let me show you the second method. So either you can do it this way, or what I can do is I can first take my 100% and I can reduce the 65%, which is the discounted price, from the 100% to give me the value which is not discounted. Okay. So let me do method two. All right. So in method two, I'm going to do, so discount is 65%. All right. So now look, this is the second method. If discount is 65%, what is not discounted? So if I look at that percent straight up, what is not discounted, this is going to be 100% minus the 65%. So what is not discounted? That would be my 35%, because what is 100 minus 65? It is 35. So the amount that is not discounted is 35%. Okay. So if I do this to find this part, all I have to do now straight up, I will get into the actual value, which is $20.65. I'm going to go directly to that with subtracting the discounted amount from the 100%. So to get the not discounted amount. So look, I'm going to do is 35% is 3,500. Okay. And so when I multiply 3,500 with 59 times 3,500, okay, zero digits, two digits behind the decimal, total amount 2. 9 times 5 is 45, carry over the 4. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 4, that gives me 29. Annex is 0. 9 times 3 is 27, carry over 2. Okay. And then I have 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2, which gives me 17. Okay. Now, when I add this, look, I have 5 here. And then 9 plus 7 gives me 16. Carry over 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here, so that is 20. So look, immediately this one takes me directly to the discount, the price that I'm going to be paying after the discount. So if you can see here. So if I'm just immediately taking off from the beginning, I'm taking off the 65% off is the original. So what is not discounted is the 100 minus 65%, which is 35%. So when I do the not discounted, it tells me the actual price at the end. So look, $20.65. So straight up, this is exactly how this is. But in this, I was first finding the discounted amount and subtracting that from the original amount. In the second method, I take off the percentage value, which is discounted. So if I do 100 minus 65 is telling me what is not discounted. And when I multiply the not discounted with the original price, it is going to straight up give me what the answer should be for the price of that volleyball. So that is the second method. And again, I can write it like this also, the proportion method, if I choose to, and I will still end up with exactly the same answer. So I could have done here. All right, so I'm just showing you, I could have just done x over 59. Okay. And where x is my sale price. Okay, this is my sale price. It gives me the sale price directly. And this is my original amount. Okay, or the original price is equal to 35%. So I'm taking the discounted. All right. And so then what am I doing? 100 times 5,900. gives me 59. Same thing here, times 5900. Okay, so look again, just the decimal is switched up. So instead of this, it will become this. It doesn't matter, the value still remains, how many digits are going to the left. So see, I still end up with exactly the same answer. Okay, same answer there, $20.65. Or I could have done in this case what? Cross products, 35 times 59, 100 times x, 100x is equal to 59 times 35, and I would get 100x is equal to 2065. And so again, division property of equality, and I get what? X is equal to $20.65. So here, either way. Okay, so these are again several options to use, but you can choose either method one or method two. And then you can do it with a percent formula, A is equal to PW, or you can write it as a proportion and then solve it. Okay, either with cross products or just multiplying with the number. All right, so let's do another problem. Um, Actually, I have one question. Uh, Sometimes, well, if you think about it, sometimes we can also have two steps. All right. So let's talk about a question where we have a combined discount. All right. So let's take a problem where it might say something is discounted this much and then is discounted some more. What would the price be? Okay, so that also happens. And that's even better for the customer because you are taking off more and more. And that's why sometimes we like to combine our coupons because it makes it better for us. We are paying less. Okay, so during a clearance sale at an electronics store, certain tablets were marked down 20%. Okay, mark down is 20% on certain tablets. All right, and one day an additional 30%, additional 30% was taken off the already reduced price. Okay, of the reduced price. Okay, a tablet originally sold was $375. So the original cost is $375. Okay, so how are we going to calculate this? Now, first and foremost, you need to remember that there are two different steps involved in this. Okay, so first you would do the 20% off the original, and then whatever answer you get to that, which you're going to subtract obviously from the original value of the item, you are then going to take another 30% off that item. Okay, so let's do this, and I'm going to show you the two steps. So I am just going to write it as a proportion so that you can use your ratio reasoning. Okay, so let's say I write my proportion where X is my sale price. So this is my sale price. Okay, over, I'm always writing it over the original price. So 375. So this is my original price. Okay. And then I am looking at if the markdown is 20%, right? What is not marked down? So that is always good because you can straight up write the percent, which is 100%, minus the 20%, which is 80%, is not discounted or not marked down. Okay, not discounted. So I can straight up take the 80% and I'm going to write it here is equal to 80%. Okay. Now, I can do, 100 times 3 and 7500, right? This is going to give me 375. Whatever I do to the denominator, I do exactly the same thing to the numerator. So 80 times 3 and 7500. Okay, and that is going to give me the value where 80 times 3 and 7500 is going to give me $300. When I do this, if I do 3 and 7500 times 80, I am going to end up with $300. Okay, so my X, which is my sale price in this case, is $300. So that is my first step. Okay, this is my first step. This is a two-step problem. Okay, now so first the first markdown came down to $300. Now let's see, out of that 300, now we have an additional 30% discount. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to write in the same format, and we know that 100% minus the 30%, and that's going to give me 70% is not discounted, right? Is not discounted. So I'm going to go ahead and write a proportion again to solve using the ratio reasoning. So now my new price is different. Okay, my new price is now different. It is not 375 anymore. What is the new price once it's discounted? Is $300, right? So I'm going to write X over 300 because that is my new amount now, where X is my, again, what? This is my sale price, and this is my original price, because original meaning after the discount. Okay, because that is the value of the item right now, is equal to, and 100 minus 30%, I got 70%. That'll give me the direct sale price. So 70 over 100. So this is my percent part. Okay, so this is my percent part. Whenever I'm writing on the right with ratio reasoning, please remember this part is always the percent part. Okay, so 100 times 3 gives me 300, right? Times 3 is going to give me 300. So whatever I do to the denominator, I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the numerator, times 3. And what is 70 times 3? Is $210. Okay, so my X is equal to $210. Okay, so this is going to be the final price of that item. Okay, now I also need you to understand that if it says that, first you are going to take the 20% off and then you're going to take the 30% off, is it exactly the same thing as if I would just say, just take 20 plus 30, which is 50% of the item? So is 50% of the item exactly the same thing as saying take 20% off and then 30% off? So let me show you the calculation. Okay, so let's say I'm saying 50% off. So the original price was how much? 375. So I'm just going to use the A is equal to PW formula right now. Okay, and my A is what we're trying to find, which is the part, right? And 50% means what? 50 over 100, which is 1/2 in the simplest form, right? So there we go. All right. So 50% is nothing but 1/2 because 50 over 100, right? So I'm just going to write for percent. I'm just going to write 1/2 because as a fraction, 50% is 1/2 times the original, which is 375. So when I am simplifying or doing this, what is 375 divided by 2, or half of 375 gives me $187.50. So this is my part, which is the final amount. So let's look at that. With 50% off, this is 50% off, okay? I am getting $187.50. But when I did 30%, 20% off first, I got 300. And then I did another 30%. And then what did I end up with? 210. So look, there's a big difference between 210 and $187.50. So both those are not the same thing. There's a big difference. Okay, 50% means 50% off the original price. That is a pretty good deal. Okay, but when it says 20% off and then 30% off, you are going to get a higher number that you'll be paying rather than a straight up 50%. So please remember that those are two different things. It is not the same thing at all. Okay. So yeah, basically that's what it is. And sometimes you have to find the original, what the original price is. So let's go ahead and do a problem with the original price, because sometimes we may not have that. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So find the original price. If Sandy had a 25% discount coupon for athletic equipment, okay, 25% discount coupon, and then she buys hockey equipment for a final price. Final price. She buys it for a final price of $172.50. What is the original price? What is the original price? Okay, so again, there are several ways to do this. We can again use the percent formula, okay, or I can do is I can just write it as a ratio or a proportion and solve using ratio reasoning. Okay, so let me show you writing it as a proportion. So I have the sale price, because this is the final price is what? This is nothing but the sale price. Okay, so $172.50. This is my sale price, and over the original price, which I don't know. This is what I need to calculate, okay, my original price. And then let's look at the percent, okay. So if 25% is discounted, what is not discounted? Okay, so not discounted would be my total amount, which is 100% minus the 25% gives me 75%. Okay, gives me 75%. So therefore, I can just write this as the percent part. I can write 75 over 100. Okay, I can also write it as 3/4. Okay, I can also write it as 3/4. But if I write it as 7,500, that is perfectly fine. So this is my percent part. Okay, now either you can use a ratio reasoning, and I can divide 172 and 50 by 75, and I'll get 2 and 3/10. And so I know that 75 times 2 and 3/10 is going to give me $172.50. Okay, and so same way I am going to multiply 100 times 2 and 3/10, and I am going to get my original amount as 230. Okay, now we could have done cross products, and if I did 172 and 50 100 over x is equal to 75 over 100. With these, what I was saying earlier, in order to find that it's 2 and 3/10, I could have done the opposite of multiplication, which is what? Division, right? So if I did $172.50 and I divided it by 75, when you end up dividing, you will get this answer. Okay, and that's why I know that the 2 and 3/10 is what I need to multiply 75 with, because what is division? It's the inverse operation of multiplication, right? So that's how I got this number, and so I could go this way and do multiplication. I can also do 75 times x is 75. X is equal to 172.50 times 100 is going to give me what? Is going to give me 117,200, sorry, 50. Okay, so 17,250 if I multiply this with 100. And then all I'm doing is I am doing my one-step equations, and this is multiplication because the coefficient comes before the variable. So the what is the inverse operation is division, and so I'm going to divide both sides by 75, and so therefore x, when I divide this, I am going to get 230 as my answer. So, whether you do it as cross products or whatever method, it still comes to be exactly the same thing. Even if I had used the percent formula and done A is equal to PW, it would be the W part that I would be trying to find. Okay, and so in that case, I would basically do what? I would take this number, which is my part, and I would divide it by the percent in the decimal form, which is 7,500, and I would get exactly the same answer. See, this is what I mean. Let me show you really quick so that you understand all the different methods of calculation. I could have done this, and I know that the the sale has been given to me. This is this, and then I have the percent, which is not discounted, which is this 7,500 times W. All right, so now what would I do? Divide both sides by 7,500, 7,500, and so see, I end up at exactly the same answer, because this is what? This, and this. So 17,250 divided by 75. Look, exactly the same thing. So it doesn't matter which way I'm doing it, I will still end up with that same answer. All right. So once again, discounts is awesome for the customer because you get to buy more with the money that you have. That is why we enjoy sales so much. And the discount is also called a markdown. So remember all the different methods. The first method, either you can take the percent discount, the percent of discount, that is given to you, and you multiply it with the whole, and then you have to subtract that value from the original amount. Okay, and then that'll give you the discounted price. Or the second method, where you can straight up take whatever percent is discounted from 100%, you're going to subtract it, and so that'll give you the amount which is not discounted. And when you multiply that not discounted percent with the original, you are going to end up with the sale price final. Okay, so two methods of calculating discount. And then I've shown you several other methods. You can use the percent formula, you can use the equivalent ratio method, using ratio reasoning, you can use cross products. So there are so many different ways that this can be calculated, and feel free to choose and pick which one works best for you. All right, have a fabulous day.